This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
So what do you want?
What do I want? I want to use my degree for good, and in general.
I kind of meant like a muffin or a latte.
I want a job with a generous work-from-grocery-store policy.
You are here a lot.
Debbie, please, I'm working.
I want a job that will change the world.
Ma'am, this is a drive-thru.
And some nuggets.
With LinkedIn's new AI-powered job search, you can find roles that match your unique skills, so you can dare to discover more. Visit linkedin.com/jobs to learn more.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. I'm Teacup.
And I'm Shecup, and we are so excited to bring you this podcast dedicated to unraveling all the mysteries woven in to the Assassin's Creed universe.
Each episode will be diving into a different lore discussion, from Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus. We will seek to uncover it all.
So step into the Animus, join us in the shadows, and maybe even take a leap of faith. Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby. You also know me as Shecup, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hey, I'm Austin or Teacup, and we're here to talk about Assassin's Creed.
That's right, and it is another patron chat, our first one of 2026, which is crazy, but we are here, and welcome back, SirSitsALot.
Hey guys, I feel like I haven't seen you in like 30 years.
I know. It's been so long with the holidays, and January always feels like a year in itself. So it's good to be back in the swing of things and get back into a patron chat for sure. So with that being said, Austin, do you want to introduce our topic and then get us started?
Yeah, so we are doing a protagonist swap. So we'll go around and just kind of talk about, we're going to put this protagonist in this game, and this is how we think the game fundamentally changes. So yeah.
Or how it doesn't. Or if your protagonist just doesn't survive.
Correct.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I guess for me, I think I want to see Altair swap with Bayek. Like I want to know what, like, if he was put in that situation, what would he do? Like, would he? Because there's two sides of Altair. You got the brash, pre-AC1 Altair, and then you got the amazing end of game, post game Altair. Since it's an actual swap, it would be interesting to see. I'm guessing we're going like a whole time dilation type thing, where, have Bayek go to Altair's time, but but not with Altair in the past. Was still Bayek, but Bayek experiencing what the Brotherhood is during Altair's time.
The thing about it is, I think about like what changes about that opening sequence in Solomon's Temple in Assassin's Creed 1 if it's Bayek instead of Altair. And I think at one level, Bayek does not kill this old man. That is one of Altair's first steps that he does. But I also think that as a warrior at the point, if you put Bayek in there, Robert de Salle is not coming out of Solomon's Temple.
No.
And I also just think that the reason that the thing in Solomon's Temple at the beginning of Assassin's Creed 1 goes the way that it does is because Altair is rash and has no consideration for the other assassins that are with him. Bayek is not going to have that kind of fault in him.
Yeah.
And he is not just going to rush in for a fight. He is going to do everything he can to fight with his other assassins.
Yeah.
And I think that gives them an edge over Robert Saul and the Templars. And I think they recover the apple sooner. I think there's less that happens there. But I also think that with that success, once it's starting to be revealed that Al-Mullen is actually a Templar, Bayek is going to be able to inspire more loyalty that Al-Mullen is not going to be able to exert as much control over the Brotherhood at that point. I really do think that the Brotherhood would end up in a better place, but I do think Templar control of the Holy Land would increase. Because I think that Bayek would be so focused on the Brotherhood that he wouldn't be as concerned with what's going on in Damascus and Acre and in Jerusalem.
I can see that. And I can imagine the scene of Bayek in the bent pyramid, except it's Altair, and there's just no cool monologue beforehand. He's just dead. Altair's just like, you're okay, you're dead now.
Yeah. I do think it's an important thing of like, I think Bayek grows a lot from beginning of Origins to end of Origins. And but Bayek is one of the first assassins that we get. Like, he is a mature adult. Like, he is not young and hot-headed. Like, he has lived a life. He has suffered and done all of these things. He is not as reckless as most of our assassin protagonists are. And I think it's because he's older.
Yeah.
And I just think that with that comes experience that Altair doesn't have. And it makes the thing of like in-game Bayek in terms of like maturity and emotional state is that not that much different from beginning game Bayek. However, Altair from beginning of Assassin's Creed 1 to the end of Assassin's Creed 1 is vastly different. And even to the end of the point of like when he like one of the memories in Revelation when he comes back from the Mongols to confront Abbas, and that's where Maria dies. And like there's just a lot more restraint in Altair. I think Bayek can easily accomplish what Altair accomplished, but I think it depends on which Altair goes to Bayek's world on if he's successful or not.
Yeah.
I feel that. I can get behind that. You had a lot of thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I was not ready.
I need me and you, Sir Sits, to just say, okay, Austin, tell us about this one. Tell us about this pairing, and just see you go off. Austin.
Also, it didn't help that in my background picture, Bayek and Altair are standing next to each other ish a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
fair.
Okay, this person. All right, awesome, go.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about I've kind of thought about this in terms of assassins and protagonists that already kind of have connections. And so I'm thinking about Eivor and Connor, not necessarily because they have specific connections, but because there is that sequence where Eivor goes to America. Vinland is what it's called, I think. And so there is some connection there, but I think that Connor could absolutely come to England and like organize and be the leader of Ravensthorpe and like take out the Templars and do a great job, a better job, arguably, than Eivor did. But I think when it comes down to some of the final scenes of Valhalla with King Alfred, and him talking about like, his Templar order and like how he's uncertain of it and just like all of that kind of philosophy. I just am not sure Connor would be able to I'm just not sure he would be able to see past, okay, Templar bad, need to take them out. Not to say he's unintelligent because he's so smart, but I just think I'm not sure he would be able to see the person of Alfred for the Templar that he is.
That is so funny because now that I'm thinking about this, because we've been watching The Last Kingdom, and Connor has so much in common with young Uhtred.
Yeah, I
Like in
know.
terms of like intelligence, but not knowing when to shut up and not
Yeah.
knowing when to like play that politic game. And I just think that there are certain political aspects of Valhalla that are at play. Like I'm thinking about the sequence and arc in York, in Jorvik, Efferich, if you will,
Is that the
where
one
you
where
have
you
to that
go?
you have to basically find there's a traitor and you have to find this like traitor in there in the city, and I just think that Connor is not going to be able to be as savvy as Eivor is in that,
Yeah.
because Eivor is a lot more schemy than Connor is,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's really important. And also I think that Connor does not have as much familial loyalty as Eivor does. Like Connor is killing Sigurd. Like
Oh,
at the first
100%.
thing, like he
Yeah.
is killing Dag right away. He is killing Sigurd.
Yes.
Like these are moments of like, no, you are a bad leader. I don't care about our connection. You are a bad leader.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to you're done. We're going to be done with this. I mean, we're talking about the man who killed his best friend because his best friend was going to compromise the good of the world.
All my homies hate Dag.
Well,
So,
it and I've said this on the podcast before. It is the out of the blueness of Dag that really gets me. Like how he goes from like this kind of almost like, oh, you're like this Adewale or Sam Gibbs or, Barnabas type character who's going to sit on my ship and give commentary this time to this like guy who's talking about how terrible you are. And it's just like a 180 switch for me with Dag, and I don't know why.
I mean, there are hints. There's definitely hints.
Yeah.
And I think to be generous to the storyline, I think the intention behind it, whether or not it was well written enough for this, but I think the intention of it is Dag is trying to like push down his doubts about Eivor's leadership, and then he just can't. He gets to a point where he just explodes and he can't do it anymore. That's my take on it. Now, I don't necessarily think that always comes through, but that's where I'm at. But back to Eivor and Connor. So I think Connor can come to England and do a pretty good job. Like, not perfectly. He definitely has some missteps. But I think if Eivor goes to America during the American Revolution and takes Connor's place, like, Eivor is going, like, knuckles out with George W. Like, Eivor and Washington are not getting along at all.
No.
Mm-mm.
And I also just think in a point of like Eivor doesn't, I mean, when you get Eivor towards the end, like the ending sequence with Eivor, and I'm talking about ending of like the base game, not with all the DLC follow up, where the like big choice of where Eivor basically learns to coexist with Odin is to like basically reject this violent impulse and that she needs to stop chasing whatever big thing are on there. Um, and she like rejects her axe, and that's what allows her to leave the like Valhalla simulation or whatever. My thing with that is that Eivor is still like a Viking, a Vikinger, if you will. Their like culture is very much a we don't like you, we're just gonna replace you. Like, we're because the Danes and the Norse at this point in England are like puppet, they like shadow rulers. They put Saxons in place of their kingships, but they're the ones pulling the strings. And when that Saxon stops doing what they want, no more Saxon.
So you think Eivor would try to do that to George Washington and fail spectacularly?
Yes. Yes, I would. And I think that Eivor would, at the end of the day, as much as Connor has his own issues with the revolution and will say that, like, I don't care about the revolution and its goals, he views it as a beneficial thing for the American people. Like the American people in general, both his like Native American people and the American colonists. Like Connor views the revolutions and the patriots as a net positive for them, even though he has his own issues with the men who are running it, albeit that they're all slave owners. Eivor would have no such. They would. Eivor probably wouldn't necessarily have as many problems with slave ownership, I would think. And then Eivor also, like, if the British came and offered, like, hey, we'll give you money to build up the homestead into this great place and you'll have wealth and power and influence, Eivor's selling out the revolution.
Yeah, Eivor is Benedict Arnolding for sure.
Right, and this is my thing about, like, we've talked, one day maybe we'll do this, we'll character deep dive a little more on Eivor, about how Eivor should have joined the Templars. I think that Shelby has this big soapbox about this. Like, I think that Eivor would have joined the Templars, and the only reason Eivor has a connection to the Hidden One / Assassins is because Hytham is part of Ravensthorpe. But if Hytham leaves, like, Eivor has no connection really to be a part of that. The only reason Eivor hates the Order of Ancients is because
of what they've done.
And Gorm were members of them. That is the only reason Eivor has to hunt down the Order of Ancients. And so when Alfred is like, I've gotten rid of this, and now we're going to make something different, something noble, something pure, I see that as Eivor being like, yes, I want to be a part of this. And I think it's a better sell for the ambiguity of the Templar Order more than Rogue is of like, hey, the Assassins do bad things too, so we should just be Templars.
Yeah.
Which gives me to one of mine, which is also involving Eivor. I think Eivor and Shay, Eivor should take Shay's place. Because I do think that Eivor has this sense of like, and if Eivor has this knowledge of like Norse mythology and all of this, like going in and messing with happens in Lisbon would be very like on brand, like basically kind of showing that like you're messing with the world tree's roots that hold up the world. Like you shouldn't be doing that. And I think Eivor would have more of an argument of like, no, like we can't just let people do whatever they want or freedom to choose because they'll always choose terrible things. I think Eivor gets to that point more realistically than Shay does. And so I think that Eivor then creates more tension for the Assassins. But I also think Eivor is a little more charismatic than Shay. I know you love Shay, SirSits. But I think Eivor is a little more charismatic. And I think Eivor can inspire more Assassins to come to her side. To where it's not like this Eivor running and doing all of this, but Eivor is actively like turning the Assassins in on themselves, which honestly would even make, like, if you played that game before playing Assassin's Creed 3 and you walk in and Connor comes into Achilles, and it's like, yeah, I hate everything. You'd be like, yeah, I know why you hate everything.
But then who would make their own luck?
No one. How long have you been waiting to say that?
The whole time.
I would not be surprised if Eivor would say that she makes her own luck.
That's fair. It does sound very Eivor-ish.
It wouldn't sound as good though. About the accent.
Fair.
That's why I was grinning the whole time, because I was waiting to say that. Yeah, that's really interesting though. Like I never would have thought about those two.
Definitely not, but it makes sense. And it does bring up my personal theory about Eivor being a Templar. Would have been better, but I don't want to get on my soapbox today. All right. Well, I think now
just to do her own thing.
Yeah, for real. Well, I think now is a good time for our mid break, and then we can come back and do another round. Or if we have any Assassin's Creed news, I don't know if we do, we can talk about that too.
You look like the one thing in the world Alcibiades wouldn't take to bed. Can you even see out of that thing?
Mock all you want. When those Malakas and Zakros see this beast charging towards them, they will know fear!
Let's start light. Tell me a joke.
Why must samurai always battle one another? Because there is only one way for a samurai to get ahead. Ahead. I did not say it was a good joke.
Makose! Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
All right. Welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we take time to thank all of our amazing patrons and talk about all the lore, or all the things that have to do with the lore cast and not the lore of Assassin's Creed. First of all, thank you all so much for supporting the podcast financially through Patreon. We are so appreciative, and you truly help us keep making the show. If you would like to join our Patreon and get a t-shirt and 3 stickers throughout the year, you still have time to do that. You can sign up at patreon.com/ACLorecast. And if you can't support us financially, we do understand. But the next best way to support us is to leave a rating, a review, a comment on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, I do have a review to read today, and this one comes from Emmanuel, who commented on our Mirage reaction episode, which was a while ago. And they said, the detail to the description and comparison between games, especially for the RPG trilogy, is really good. I really appreciate it. It gives me more insight into the games that I'm currently doing playthroughs on. Thank you so much for that awesome review. We greatly appreciate it. And the last and final thing that I have to talk about is our Discord server. You should definitely come and hang out with us and just talk about Assassin's Creed, any games you're playing, because it is the best place on the internet. And with that, I think we're ready to get back into it.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. May be less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats. Just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
No, you're right. Let's all just screw around while the world falls to pieces.
Hey, this isn't easy, you know.
Right, like we're all on vacation out here? Enough! Look, everyone's under a lot of pressure, but we're the only ones who can stop Abstergo, so we need to keep it together.
She's right. We need to be a hive mind, people.
Anybody up for some reconciliatory yoga? Anyone?
Very funny, guys.
You have my thanks. Keep the sword, Ezio. Do I know you from somewhere? Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario!
Uncle Mario?
It's been too long, Nipote. Far too long.
Malaka! Malaka! Malaka!
So, I think we do have something that we would like to discuss after the break. Does anyone have any thought swaps or protagonist swaps that we want to discuss before we get into our interesting discussion that has been teased to me?
I mean, I could go on and on about many more, I'm sure, but I don't think I have any that are particularly notable.
I do think that you could switch Arno and Ezio and their games turn out exactly the same.
I think you could put Ezio in Arno's game and it would turn out the exact same. I'm not certain you could put Arno into Ezio's, at least all three of them. The first one, maybe.
2. I'm going to specifically go switching 2 and Unity. I think that can do it. Arno is extremely talented and an extremely good assassin. Like, yeah, he's Wishbrand Ezio. We all know that. But he is pretty talented, and he would have the drive to go and hunt down. And I actually think Arno would kill Rodrigo Borgia in the vault.
Yeah. I just don't think Arno can go to Revelation.
No,
I just don't think he can do it.
If it's the same time, maybe. Like same time gap, maybe. But because we have to remember there's like 40 years or something, like it's like a crazy amount of time from
Not that long.
2. It's a long time from 2 to Revelation.
It's not 40 years. He's not that old. Like 20.
Okay. It's a long time.
Maybe 25. 30 maybe.
23.
I think he could do it.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree.
So it's kind of in the same vein of this. Also, sort of in the same vein as, I guess, previous season's main topic, but Cassandra, which game would she join the Assassins? Like, which game would she is most likely that she would join the Assassins? I'm pretty sure Shay's game is off the table, but because if I'm right, she's the only one who doesn't have a clear. Well, I guess she does kind of have a clear connection,
right,
to the Assassins v Templars.
Right. And like, I mean, if we really want to talk about it, like, she's Aya's ancestor. So there is that. I think Cassandra post base game is likely could be swayed to join the Templars. In a sense of that, like post base game. But because like, and this is hard with Cassandra because a lot of Cassandra's personality depends on like the dialogue choices that you make, because her personality develops like based on how aggressive or funny or whatever you are. But with Cassandra post game, in that, or like post main game, Aspasea is still someone she respects. And I think she views the cult as chaos and destruction. And I think she might view the Assassins in the same way, at a first glance. However, the minute that she would see, if it's post Legacy of the First Blade DLC, the minute she would see like the hidden blade, basically, I think she would realize like, okay, no, like Darius was a good man. Like I should hear these people out.
Yeah, I see that.
And then I think post Fate of Atlantis, like I don't think Cassandra is joining the Templars, mainly because of their obsession with using pieces of Eden because her whole thing is like, no, we need to control and destroy these because they wreak destruction upon the world. And so I really do think that the era in which I think Cassandra is most likely to join the Assassins is post Great Purge Assassin Order.
That's certainly a hot take.
Interesting too.
Because it's not that I necessarily like disagree with your reasoning behind it. I hear where you're coming from, but like we also know that like her and Eivor were friends. Like we know that she knows about the assassins throughout the years. So to me, I'm like, there's no way that she didn't know of at least and work with them throughout all these years that she was just alive. To me, it makes sense for her to have joined, you know, a few decades, a century after the order is officially founded by Bayek and Aya. Because she's not there for the founding. Like, we know that because that's just not how the story goes. But it's hard for me to believe that she would not be there soon after that, just with everything that she's involved in.
I guess what I was really trying to get at was which game would she fit in as an assassin? I guess is what I was trying to say at the beginning. I just didn't say it.
Like you mean how like
swap,
who could you replace with her? Yeah. Okay. I mean anyone really. I think it would be, there are some where I'm like, you could not do this. Like you could not, she could not be the protagonist of Liberation. Like she just couldn't do it. Like she's just too she's too her. Cause like, you know, they didn't have all of the like gender roles and stuff. Like she couldn't, I don't think she could fit into that. But I think she'd be really great to replace Eivor. Like she could run Ravensthorpe, like I've said, you know. I think that she could figure out Al Mualim is a Templar. I do. I just don't know if she could go to Victorian England. I just don't think she can go to 1800s America and like fit in with these kind of societies that have very rigid rules. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see what that would be like. I feel like, yeah, she kind of would fit anywhere, but I don't really know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. I don't really know what all would be that different in any of these games with her. I mean, obviously, some things will be different, obviously, because it's a different personality than all the other ones. But I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting to, like, if she was born Renaissance Italy, if she was born during the third or before the Third Crusade, with like the same kind of, I guess, backstory that she has. Obviously, it's very timey-wimey kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll put that to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of figure out where she would fit in.
Yeah. I mean, I think if she's raised in whatever culture, like I think she can do it for sure. I think it's just going from like ancient Greek culture to whatever, like she's going to have a hard time. But like we know she exists and she survives, so like at some point she does learn to adapt. But
this would have been really, really interesting to me with Cassandra. And this is one of the reasons why I was at a point of like, I think her most logical entry point into the Assassins is post-Great Purge, is because Cassandra thrives the best when she's the underdog. Cassandra thrives the best at inspiring other people when they are the underdog. But I also think this would be this like really, really cool moment because there's a lot, especially like Unity and Syndicate's modern day story, and the comics modern day story is really leaning towards Abstergo trying to build their own Isu, like basically collect sage DNA of whatever to like make like replicate their own Isu for themselves to be able to wield the piece of Eden better than they can. And I just really like the idea of Cassandra joining the assassins at this moment as a way to like combat and counteract that. You might not know this because I don't really talk about this a lot because Shelby hates it. But I'm a huge, huge Dragon Ball fan. And there's a scene in Dragon Ball Super when they're fighting a person who has basically like made themselves stolen Goku's body and is like doing all of this stuff in the Goku Black arc. And Vegeta in these things basically says to Goku Black, like, you can't stand up against me because I'm the real deal and you're a copycat. And I think that's the vibes Cassandra would bring to that of like, you think you're an Isu hybrid, but I'm the real deal.
Yeah. I'm the OG Isu hybrid.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I am the sage to end all sage. Come at me.
Yeah, she's kind of the prototype.
I just like view her as like almost this like Deus Machina like type character that like comes in and like is the like thing of like, no, we're gonna end this now. I started this when I started the line that ran through Aya into eventually like I'm pretty sure that this line eventually runs into Desmond. Like I started this and now we're gonna finish it. Kind of full circle moment. But they scratched all that idea and blew Juno up in a comic, and here we are.
And he's not over it. I will say
I'm not either, honestly.
I don't hate Dragon Ball. It's not for me.
That's true. It's true. I will yield that. I will correct myself.
Thank you. Retract the statement, please.
Yes.
All right. Well, any final thoughts before we kind of wrap it up?
So there is a little bit of not necessarily Assassin's Creed news, but Ubisoft news. They are apparently trying to reorganize in some way. I don't really know, but apparently stuff has been moved. For instance, they canceled the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. That's out.
They canceled the second Shadows DLC.
Yeah. But they also the quote unquote rumored Assassin's Creed game that was supposed to come out in the 2026 financial year, 2025 financial year, whatever, which we all know was going to be the Black Flag remake. There was news coming out that it was to be like March. It was to come out in March.
This year?
they said by end of fiscal year 2026, which is the fiscal year 2027 for most companies begins April 1st.
Yeah, right. So April. So as I understand it, Black Flag remake resynced, as it's apparently going to be called, was pushed back. So it might be the 2026 Christmas season. That might be when it comes out, which also probably means that Hexe will probably be pushed back to later 2027 as well. Because I think from stuff I've seen, apparently Black Flag was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year. Hexe maybe near the end of the year, but it seems like all that's been pushed back. So we might not be getting a brand new game
for a long time
until the end of next year, maybe.
Okay, here's my question. Was the Black Flag remake ever officially confirmed by Ubisoft?
No.
No.
So it's all just like rumor and leaks.
But like Ubisoft has never announced their remasters.
Okay. They've
Like
just dropped them.
their remasters have just dropped. Like I'm pretty sure the Ezio trilogy, which was technically a remaster of those games, like that collection, that shadow dropped. I think that there's technically a one like re-release. It's not really a remaster, but they added a bunch of like additional content into it. But it's what you can buy on Steam now. And then they like added more like discovery missions to each area or whatever, something like that. Um, and then like we got announced like barely after Assassin's Creed Odyssey launched that if you bought the season pass, you would get the remaster of Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation.
Interesting.
So it would not be out of character for Ubisoft to announce it and then release it. I mean, I don't think they're gonna pull an Oblivion remastered where it's like, yeah, we're doing this and it's available in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was really successful. So
Yes, but 60% of Oblivion remaster players didn't play more than 15 hours.
okay, well then never mind. Yeah, maybe they
Like-
won't. But I could see them saying like, okay, hey, this is going to be available in 2 weeks or like a month.
Right. It wasn't just like random people online. There was like
No,
there's industry insiders that were kind of saying that this remake was coming out.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
more credible leaks than just like random, not
And
that
then-
I really have any problem with him, but it's not like Joel Raptor's just talking on YouTube about this possibility of this happening. Like these are real, like people who work for IGN and other things reporting this.
And like, I don't know if that has moved anything because we don't really know much about Invictus or if Jade is ever freaking coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
whatever
affects
happened with
those at all.
I mean, did they even announce anything of their like early access thing? Like, did they get positive feedback? Because like Skull and Bones had an early access period and then they scrapped it completely.
Well, wasn't it bad? You played it.
Yeah, just briefly. I don't think it was really that bad. I just didn't really like. I'm not a big fan of sandbox games of like just go and do this and go in a direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
I really was excited for the Hexa game. So
I am too. I think that one is probably coming. Just because I think Ubisoft always really likes to capitalize on eras that are popular at the moment. For example, like they really hit big into marketing on Assassin's Creed Shadows the same time that like Shogun was really popular and people were watching that. And with the popularity of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 coming out, and like that is the same, we're talking about roughly the same era, like that is set in the Holy Roman Empire. And so that's an important point. And like, I just also don't want them to make it a Kingdom Come Deliverance with an Assassin's Creed skin on it. Like, I love the idea of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I just don't have the patience to be good at that game.
Yeah, I'm excited for Hexa, but the little that has been talked about it, I don't know. I don't know.
we
what
just
it's
don't
gonna
know
be.
anything. Yeah.
Like there's a magic, apparently a magic proponent to it, but that could just be a piece of Eden.
Yeah,
like
I really
the character
want them.
controls a cat to go do something. That could just be a new piece of Eden, I guess. I don't know.
I really want that to be there. Or like, I would love, because it's supposed to be really witchy in like this witchy era in like Germanic Holy Roman Empire. And I really want it to just be like culture. Like, I don't want to see people like shooting fire from their hands, but like someone coming in and cursing someone with like general like that would have been practiced as like witchcraft at the time. That would be I'd be okay with that. And I really want them to get back into I'm just a regular person. Like I feel like the last couple games we've had really big emphasis of like I'm the best warrior that could ever be a warrior. And I love Yasuke. I love all the things. But Assassin's Creed is best when it's told about these people who are just happen to be put into this circumstance and rise to the challenge that is protecting the world. I mean, I'm talking about Arno, I'm talking about Ezio, Connor, like all of these people like are fantastic fighters in what they are, but they are not military people. They are just people who are designed and fighting for a cause that's beyond that. And I wish Assassin's Creed would get back to that.
Very fair. Well, we are almost out of time, so I'm gonna leave us on that note. SirSitsALot, thank you. Yes, seriously. Thanks for being here. Do you have anything you would like to shout out for the listeners?
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SirSitsALot00. I am working on getting some platinums on PlayStation. I'm nearly done with Ghostbusters, the video game, and I'm also playing Persona 5 Royal, getting the platinum for that. This past week, I was with my buddy Threat Level Zombie. If you want to check him out on Twitch as well, we were playing some Resident Evil 5 co-op because he is doing a Road to Requiem series where he's playing all the Resident Evil stuff, getting ready for Requiem. Also have a YouTube channel which will be back up and running at some point in the first half of this year. As soon as I get my new computer, go to YouTube and search for AC Chronology Project. It's a YouTube channel where I am putting everything in the Assassin's Creed universe in chronological order, game-wise, and maybe movie-wise. I don't know. But yeah.
All right. Thank you. And thank you all for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We will see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. If you have any lore questions, theories, or topics you'd like us to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It is the best place on the internet.
You can also support the show financially and ensure its continuation by becoming a patron at patreon.com/ACLorecast. If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, comment or rating, or join our Patreon.
The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Podcasting Network. If you enjoyed our show's intro or outro music, give a big shout out to Pipeman Studios.
And until next time, Assassins, and remember, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
Are you a fan of Elden Ring? Are you confused about the lore as pretty much everyone else? We've got you covered. Check out the Elden Archives, a lore podcast that helps to explain every little confusing detail about the lands between. Things like what exactly happened on the Night of the Black Knives, or what we really know about characters like Nicola. Just like the show you're listening to now, we're on the Robots Radio Network, so you know it'll be good. Wondering how to find the show? Easy. Either go to robotsradio.net or search Elden Archives on whatever podcatcher you're using right now. Bookmark the show for later, and we'll see you in the lands between. Again, that's the Elden Archives, a FromSoft Lorecast available everywhere.